Hello everybody, we're at the home of Crucial FX and their new Origin experience in London. We've recorded a podcast today within their offices with two gentlemen who have a big involvement in the Ryder Cup. The 42nd Ryder Cup matches took place in September 2018 at Le Golf National in France, and I'm delighted that Ryder Cup match director Edward Kitson and David Tunnicliffe, who's the commercial director at GL Events, join us today to talk a little bit about it. Guys, we've just finished recording a podcast that our Event Industry News followers can tune into in a couple of weeks' time. But thanks very much again for joining us today and spending the time that you have to talk in a bit of detail about the tournament. Edward, I'll come to you first of all. The site, Le Golf National, was the first time that it hosted Ryder Cup matches. What challenges did it present you as an event organiser in order to deliver what you wanted to deliver?
I think any Ryder Cup creates many challenges, but obviously bringing 270,000 people from 90 different countries to a venue which is, in essence, is an open area, and creating the infrastructure to host the spectators from all our sponsors to our guests to our hospitality programme, and it's the excitement and the challenge of actually building up the whole infrastructure for the event.
And David, when it comes to that infrastructure, the structures themselves are becoming an iconic part of the Ryder Cup as a tournament, as a spectacle. How challenging was it for you to deliver the structures within the confines of a particular golf course?
Each golf course comes with different challenges. I mean, there was an airport right by this golf course, which was an interesting challenge when it came to craning some of the structures we had. Because the amount of time we had to plan this particular project, the challenges were sort of planned out. So the actual build was reasonably smooth. I mean, it went quite well. The Ryder Cup loved to protect the grass around all the structures, so we get in very early, so it gives us a lot more time. Then we get the sort of protection away. So there's things we have to consider, but all that, as I mentioned, is considered really early on in the planning. So actually, not as challenging as you think for a project of such a size.
And when we look at the size and the scale involved in delivering something like this, Edward, on a personal note, what's it like for you to actually be in that position as match director and assume overall responsibility for everything that's going on outside of the ropes and outside the actual tournament play?
I think that's what I aspire to. We worked on France for over 8 years developing the whole master plan, and it's really the excitement of actually when the first Friday morning, when they were teeing off in front of the 7,500 seated grandstand, there was over 20,000 people lined up the hole. The excitement was just electric, and that's what really felt the achievement from all the team. There's over 7,000 volunteers and staff working on the event, and to actually have a beautiful sunny day and see such a great start to the Ryder Cup, and then obviously went on to win was a great achievement for us all.
Excitement's the right word, isn't it? Because as a supplier, all the suppliers there felt we contributed towards that. So when you do see, was it 20,000 people around the first hole enjoying themselves and cheering? I mean, they cheer a lot. You feel that you helped contribute towards that. And it's quite a warm, cuddly feeling. And we had guests there as well, and they all came back to what a fantastic atmosphere we created. And you think, well, we were part of the planning of that and part of the process to deliver that. So yeah, it's a very exciting, quite proud moment, I'd say.
As a supplier, GL Events will work on many different major sporting events all over the world. What were the differences of working on this particular Ryder Cup when it compares to other sporting events that you've worked on?
I'm not sure this particular Ryder Cup, but certainly Ryder Cup generally is different because Ryder Cup have remained very much in touch with their guests and their sponsors, and I think some of the larger sporting events that have taken place around the world sometimes are so busy focused on the sport, so busy focused on their own little world, they forget about the guests. What the Ryder Cup does really well is look after the people that are there. They know what they want, they know the level of expectation those guests have got, and that is a key element of delivering a successful event. So we're quite lucky working on Ryder Cup that we have that kind of support, and we talk to each other about how we're going to do that.
And finally, Edward, the next tournament, it's going across to Italy. It's going to be in Rome for the first time. Again, it's another first for the Ryder Cup. Presumably the work never stops. That's well in hand already, is it?
Absolutely. The team of us are working on the project now. The focus at the moment, we're rebuilding the golf course, and we're planning the overall site overlay and focusing really on the whole transport planning. And over the next 3 years, we'll get much more into the detail and start appointing all the different suppliers. And hopefully GL will be there with us again as a European supplier.
Well, thank you very much. Good luck to you both, gentlemen. Thanks very much for joining us today. And if you want to tune into that podcast, keep your eye on eventindustrynews.com. The full podcast with Edward Kitson and David Tunnicliffe on the 42nd Ryder Cup will be available in a couple of weeks' time.